Hi guys, my name's Anna, I'm one of the exercise physiologists. Today we're going to show you an exercise circuit that you can do at home in your own time. You don't need very much equipment at all. If you have got a chair, then that would be perfect. And if you've got some light weights, I've just got some kilogram weights today to use, then please grab those. But if you don't have any weights, you can use some tins of beans, something like a water bottle that you can do some exercises with as we get going. Just before we get started, if you've got any new injuries or if you're not feeling well, any change in your condition, then please do talk to one of the cardiac rehab team before you do your workout. Otherwise, let's get going. So we're going to start by warming up. I just want to start with a nice gentle march, nice and steady, nice and slow, just getting our feet moving a little bit. So we're going to just start nice and slowly when we warm up, and all we're trying to do is just mobilise our joints a little bit and get our heart rate gradually increasing, getting our bodies prepared for the exercise today. Okay, going to change from a gentle march just to some slow and steady toe taps in front. And with all of these exercises, take them just at the pace that you're comfortable with. Should be nice and easy to begin with. If you're feeling that you're a little bit unsteady on your feet, feel free just to pop a hand onto a chair beside you or hold onto the wall. That's absolutely fine. We're just starting to move our lower body. At this point, shouldn't be feeling particularly warm or breathless. We're just really starting to get ourselves moving and warm ourselves up. Changing from the toe taps, we're just going to change to some heel taps in front. Tapping forwards onto our heels. Nice and slowly still. Okay. So when we're warming up, we're just increasing our heart rates, nice and slowly, increasing our blood pressure, and we're getting our blood and our oxygen to the parts of the body that we're going to be working today. So increasing the blood flow to our heart and increasing the blood flow to our muscles that we're going to be moving. Really important part of the workout, so please don't skip through the warm-up. Make sure that you do gradually increase the intensity and include this part with all your workouts, whether that's with us today or whether that's out doing other exercises during the week. Okay, changing from our heels, and we're just going to tap to the side, still keeping the movements nice and close to the body. Lovely. Hope we're all feeling well, just getting ourselves moving, getting ourselves working a little bit. Hopefully for some of you, these moves may be familiar. You may have done them in the exercise classes. If it's new to you, then just take it nice and easy to begin with. Take it at the pace that you're comfortable with. We're still at this point, just mobilising our joints. Should be nice and easy, not feeling particularly tough, particularly hard just yet. If you have got that RPE scale, that rating of perceived exhaustion, the Borg scale with you, then please do keep that in your eye line as we go through. We'll be asking you to think about how you're feeling. At present though, we should be very much on the very light area, nice and comfortable. And our final move, really easy still, keeping close to the body, is just tapping behind, okay? So one foot behind the other, still keeping the movements nice and slow. Okay, keeping that nice and easy to begin with. And in a second, we're just going to start to increase the pace up a little bit. Just start to increase the intensity, getting ourselves just that little bit warmer now. If at any point you feel you want to grab yourself a drink, then do help yourself. Go and grab a glass of water or that bottle that you've got with you. Otherwise, just increasing the pace. We're going to come back into the march, and I'm going to start to add a little bit of arm movements in. Knees just starting to come a little bit higher now. I've picked the pace up very slightly. Just starting to increase what we're doing a little bit now. I'm going to keep the legs moving, And we're going to just mobilise the upper body a little bit and do some stretches. So starting with some shoulder rolls, just rolling up and around, coming backwards to begin with. We're going to do about 5 rolls backwards. And then we're going to change and we're going to roll forward. So just making the movements that little bit bigger. Okay, and relax the arms down. Bring them back in and pick that march back up again. Knees a little bit higher. Pace increasing slightly. Maybe at this point just starting to feel a little bit warmer now. Feeling that getting a little bit tougher but still comfortable, can still talk nice and easily. And we're going to change back to the heels coming in front. This time if you're feeling comfortable, add just a small bicep curl. So just that little bit tougher than where we started. Still feeling nice and easy, we're just gradually working through the warm-up. So at this point what's happening in our body is those arteries that are supplying our muscles, supplying to our heart as well, they're starting to get a little bit bigger, getting more oxygen, more fuel to those muscles, to our heart. So getting the oxygen and the fuel that we need to those muscles that are going to be working while we're doing our exercise. Warm-up's really important, helps to reduce our risk of angina, chest pains, any sort of discomforts and breathlessness. So really important part of our workout to be doing. Okay everyone, changing then from the heels, just getting the toes tapping forwards again. I've increased the distance that I'm tapping forward, so I've just made the movement a little bit bigger, and I'm going to start to add just a punch forwards. Keeping the movement around about shoulder height. And if you're finding that this is very tough, you're getting a little bit too hot, finding a little bit breathless already, then just bring the movement a little bit closer to the body. Slow your pace back down. Just keep it nice and steady. But if you're still feeling comfortable, again, we're just gradually increasing that movement size and the pace up a little bit. Okay, come back down to that marching, and we're going to do our next stretch for our upper body. So we're going to stretch across the shoulders. So we're going to start first of all by taking our arm across the body. I'm going to start with my left arm coming over the body, the right tucks up and underneath, and we're just pulling the arm into the body. Keeping our feet moving all the time, helping just to keep the heart rate up that we started to raise. And we're going to hold for about 10 seconds just across that shoulder. 3, 2, 1, and rest the arm down, back into that marching. And then we're going to change over to the other side. So the right arm just comes straight across the body, left arm tucks up and underneath, just pulling into the body. Holding that stretch there again, stretching around that right shoulder. If you want to increase the stretch, then look back over your right shoulder. So that will make it a little bit tougher as well. 3, 2, 1, and rest that shoulder down. Okay. Our final stretch for our upper body. One hand in front of each other, and we're just putting the hands pushing away from the body from the side. I'll just show you. So we're just pushing away and look down at those toes. Holding there again. 3, 2, 1, and rest back down. Okay. I'm going to pick the pace up a little bit more now, and we're going into some side taps. And I'm going to bring in a lateral raise. So it should be now starting to feel that we are getting a bit warmer, that we're finding that our breathing is just starting to increase. Still no more than that kind of light range coming on the Borg. If you're finding again it's getting a little bit too tough, just bring the arm raises a little bit lower. Drop them back down, otherwise keeping up to shoulder height at the moment. Okay, back just into the march. Check you've got a bit of space behind you, and we're going to tap back, one foot behind the other. And we're just going to add a single arm raise coming up in front. I'm doing opposite hands with an opposite legs. If you're struggling with the movement, just slow it back down, get the legs moving to start with, and then add the arms in afterwards. Sort of trying to aim for a Superman pose at the end of each one. That's quite a good way of thinking about it if you're struggling with the coordination. Okay, back into a march, and we're coming to our last 5 minutes of our warm-up. A little bit of stretching for the lower body to start with. So we're going to start with a calf stretch. We're going to take a nice step forwards onto our right leg, and we're pushing our weight forwards here. The left leg is staying nice and still, heel pressed down into the floor. I'm going to show you from the side as well for anyone that's struggling. Step forwards onto the right leg, left leg nice and still, heel pressed down into the floor, pushing our weight forwards. And coming back up, back into the march. And in a second we'll change over, we'll do the other leg. So we're going to step forwards onto the left leg this time, pushing the weight forwards. The right leg stays nice and straight, heel pressed down and into the floor. And from the side, I'll just show you again, the left leg is pushing forwards, that right heel is pressed down into the floor. And coming back up, lovely, nice brisk march. My knees are starting to get a little bit higher now, my arms are working. And we're going to go back into the heel taps, double biceps this time. I've picked the pace up a little bit more again, and I'm making my movements a little bit bigger. I'm now starting to feel that I'm getting a little bit warmer. And I'm going to change my movement once again, this time to my heel taps and my toe taps and double arms coming out. Hopefully we're all feeling a bit warm now. We're going to stretch out for our hamstrings in a second. So another stretch coming up. When you're ready, bring the movement just back down to a gentle march, and our feet are coming about hip width apart. We're going to bend the knees, our right leg is coming forwards, the right leg stays straight, and we're sitting back onto the left leg. I'll show you from the side. So from this side, our right leg is coming out, that's our straight leg, and we're sitting back into the stretch. If you want to increase, just sit a little bit lower. Okay, come back up into a march. Keep that heart rate up. And we'll change over, we'll do the other leg. So nice hip width apart feet. This time step onto the left leg, nice straight left leg, sit back onto the right. From the side, that's the left leg coming forwards, the right leg bends, sitting backwards. So keeping our left leg straight the whole way up from the heel up to our hip joint. Remember to breathe as you're stretching, nice steady in and out. Sometimes we hold our breath as we stretch. Okay, and back into our marching. Last little bit, we're going to go out to the side. Start with a single arm, but if you're feeling comfortable, up to double arms. I'm now starting to notice my breathing's increasing a little bit. I'm getting warm, I'm pretty much ready to go for my full circuit in about a minute's time. Okay, back into a march. Again, check behind you. We're just going to tap back, one foot behind the other, arms starting front, and we're just going to pull the chest open. Elbows coming backwards. We're going to finish off with a final stretch, and then we're going to get ourselves going. Our last stretch we're going to do is we're going to stretch out our quadriceps here, okay? I would hold on to something, turn yourself to a wall, one hand on, and then we're going to come into a nice steady stance, a little bit of bend in your knees. The opposite leg that you're holding on with is going to come heels up towards the bottoms. Grab the front of your trainer or the back of your trouser or shoe. Holding there. 3, 2, 1. march ourselves around, keep those feet going all the time, opposite hand on, and the other leg comes up behind us, back of a shoe, back of a trouser, or onto our laces. Again, nice and steady on your opposite leg, little bit of bend in there, and relax down. Okay everyone, we are ready to get started. If you want to grab yourself a quick drink, then do so, and we're going to go straight into exercise number 1. Okay, so we're going to start with our exercise number 1 today, which is going to be a nice brisk march with some high knees, using the arms as well. Okay, if we want to make it a little bit tougher, we're going to make our knees a little bit higher. Alternatively, if that's feeling quite tough, just bring the knees a little bit lower and slow the pace. Just bringing the knees a bit higher than a normal march, and we're using our arms a little bit as well. Most of our exercises for our cardiovascular exercise, we're going to go for about 2 minutes, and then we'll be moving on to something new. As we go through the circuit, we're trying to get to an RPE 13. That's a moderate intensity. We want to be feeling a little bit breathless, want to be feeling warm, knowing that we're doing something. If you feel that it's getting hard, is it getting too tough? That's when you just reduce the intensity, slow it back down. If you're finding it a little bit easier, try and make your movements a little bit bigger, and that will increase the intensity. So we're trying to maintain generally around about a moderate intensity RPE 13. How are we feeling? Everyone getting on okay? About 30 seconds left on this exercise. Between each exercise, we'll have a little bit of recovery, allow you to move to the next one. If you need to take any drinks, breaks at any time, then that's absolutely fine. Trying to keep those knees coming up a little bit higher if you feel you can. Fantastic. Okay, we're just going to slow it down to a steady march just as we get ready to our next exercise. So nice and easy, just recover a little bit, take a little bit of a breather, but we're always keeping our feet moving. Get your chair ready if you can. If you need to bring that in or just move some things around, make sure you're ready to go. I'm going to bring my chair in, and our next exercise is the sit to stand. So I'm just going to come onto my chair, not sitting all the way back, nice and comfortably, and I'm going to stand up and back down. Okay, I'm not pushing off with my arms if I can. All of this is coming through the big muscles in my legs. If I feel comfortable, I can wrap my arms around my chest. If I feel I need to counterbalance, arms coming out in front. So as I'm able to sit back, my arms are counterbalancing, makes it a little bit easier. If that's getting tough, if my legs are feeling quite difficult, just go into a steady march, a couple of seconds, as long as you need, and then start the exercise again. So coming back up and back down. So that's our easier option. If you're feeling comfortable and you want to give it a go, we can make it a little bit tougher. Come a little bit further away from the chair. We're not going to sit back, we're going to just come into a squat. Okay, if you want to come a little bit closer, you can just touch onto the chair, but not sit down. We've got different options for the exercise. Come back to the full seated if you feel that you want to. Okay, about 30 seconds left. Remember, take yourself that little bit of a rest if you need to. Back to a march whenever you want. Otherwise, keep going, working these big muscles in the legs, feel the burn a little bit. As I say, hands out in front if you want to. Down by the side, toss them over the chest, whatever you feel comfortable with. nearly there. We're going to move on to the next exercise. We'll start with just a few heel taps. Catch your breath, everybody. Have a little bit of a breather. Grab yourself a drink if you want one. Make sure you stay well refreshed as you go through. So keeping the heels tapping, with your feet moving as you're refreshing yourself. Catch that breath nice and easy. And we're going to move on to our next exercise, which is the hamstring curl. Make sure you've got a little bit of space around you. We're just going to start lifting heels up towards the bottom. So get the legs moving to start with. How are we feeling? Is that feeling too easy? Then let's start to add a bicep curl. Option number 1, single biceps. If that's too easy for us, if we're feeling that we can do a little bit more, add 2 biceps. Let's make it a little bit tougher. We can always go a little bit quicker, or if we're finding that it's too much, then just drop back down to a single bicep curl. Remembering that we're trying to reach an RPE 13, moderate intensity. Should be hearing that breathing increase a little bit, feeling that bit warmer. How are you doing? Are we feeling comfortable? Really well. About 30 seconds left on this exercise. Keep it going. If you really want to, just increase the pace a little bit. Keep it at that nice steady pace. Remember, option of 2 biceps. Go back down to a single if you need to. At any point, just back to a march if you want, okay? Okay, and into our first active recovery exercise. Grab your weights or your beams or your water bottles, whatever you've got, and we're going to do a lateral raise, 10 repetitions. Feet are moving, and the weights are coming out to shoulder height and back down. Nice steady breathing as we come out and back down. It's a slow movement. 1, 2, 1, 2. Not rushing up and down. Nice and steady. That's 5 repetitions. Number 6, 7, 8, 9, and our last one, number 10. Okay, pop those weights back down. Get ourselves ready. We're going into a forward lunge. Nice big step forwards. Okay, I'll show you. Left leg coming forwards, right comes down, come back up. Opposite leg. Okay, this is from the front. That knee that's going towards the floor, it's not hitting the floor, it's just coming in that direction. From the side, if you do need something in front of you, you can hold it there. That can give you a little bit of support. Means that you're not feeling that you're off balance. If it's a little bit too tough, reduce how low you lunge. Just make it a little bit higher, not quite as low to the floor. If you're comfortable though, try and get that knee down towards the floor as far as you're comfortable. Remembering that we're trying to reach an RPE 13, moderate intensity. Should be hearing that breathing increase a little bit, feeling that bit warmer. Back into the march. How are you all feeling? We're going to go for a wall press now, okay? So find yourself somewhere you can lean onto, and we're going to go into a press up position. Feet comfortably apart, press up position. Okay, so we're just getting our hands on the wall, about shoulder height with the hands, and pushing the body into the wall nice and slowly, and back out. 2 seconds in, and 2 seconds back out. Nice steady push in, push back out. Essentially doing a standing press up, working our pectorals and our shoulders. And we're going to do 10 repetitions here, so in and back out for 10. 9 and 10. Okay, fantastic. Our next exercise is the box step, okay? So nice wide feet, stepping forwards and back together, okay? So right, left, back together. Right, left, back together, okay? Feet to go in to start with, and then we're going to add in a punch forwards if we can. So I'm doing a punch with each step. Okay, I'm changing legs. This time I'm going left, right, back together. Left, right, back together. If that's feeling tough, just keep the legs going. Drop the arms out. But if you feel comfortable, add the punching. And back to the right leg first. Making sure we're working both of our legs. If you're finding you're getting a little bit of soreness in the arms, punch a little bit lower. Keep it close to the body. Otherwise, trying to keep it at shoulder height. Remembering working at that 13, moderate intensity. A little bit warmer. Finding that we're feeling a little bit breathless as we're doing our exercises. The wider you step, the harder it will be. So if you want to make it a little bit tougher, legs come a bit wider. Onto the left leg starting. Keeping the punching going if you can. Okay, last 10 seconds on this one. Doing really well. Fantastic. A few side steps. Just cool it back down, take a little breather. Time to get a drink on board if you want one. Always keeping the feet moving. If you're feeling comfortable, just keeping the side taps going. Get your refreshment though if you want. Okay. Are we ready? We're halfway through the circuit now, doing really well. And enter the second half. So high knees with a torso twist, okay? So as the knee comes forwards, the arm comes in. So as the knee is coming up, we're bringing the opposite elbow down towards that knee. Cardiovascular exercise because the knees are working and the legs are going, but we're also working our core a little bit, getting those tummy muscles coming in. If we're feeling that's too much, drop the arms out, just try a little bit gentler, twisting the body. Opposite hand to opposite knee. Okay, if not, try and get those elbows coming in. Crunching across the body. So it's a standing crunch that we're doing here. High on your knees. Again, the intensity is getting a little bit tougher. Definitely starting to feeling it now. You're doing really well, everyone. Keep it going. Option if it's too much, back to a march. Otherwise, try and keep it going. Punching across the body. So it's a standing punch that we're doing here. High your knees. Again, the intensity is getting a little bit tougher. Definitely starting to feeling it now. You're doing really well, everyone. Keep it going. Back to a gentle march. We're going to go on to another of our weights. Grab your weights again. Really simple, a bicep curl. So starting with the weights in front of you, elbows tucked in. We're going to come slowly up to the chest and lower back down. Our feet are still moving. They're not stopped yet, just nice gentle marching. From the side, you can see I'm coming slowly up to the chest and back down. My elbow is not moving. It's my forearms only. Again, we're going to do 10 repetitions. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and number 10. Well done, everyone. Okay, pop those weights back down. On to our next exercise. Back to the cardio. Check a bit of space behind you, tapping back and across, getting those legs working, arms in front, opening up the chest. The lateral back step. As with all these things, the bigger you make that movement, the bigger the step back, the tougher it's going to be. Keep it a little bit closer to the body if you need to make it a touch easier. If you need to, the arms are feeling tired, shoulders are getting a little bit fatigued, drop the arms out, just keep the legs going. Keep the arms in if you feel you can. Well done, everyone. Keep working. Making sure that you're trying to stay around that RP13, moderate intensity. If you want to, just slow it back down a little bit. Take a breather at any time. Try and keep those arms going though, if it's comfortable. Stepping one foot back behind the other foot. Well done, you're doing really well. About 30 seconds left on this exercise. Remember, option 1, drop the arms out. Option 2, arms coming in. Change between the two depending on how you're feeling. Nearly there, you're doing really well, everyone. Okay, take it back into a gentle march for a second. We're going to go for a heel raise now. So find something you can hold on to, whether it's a chair or the wall behind you. I'm going to use the chair so you can see. We're going up onto the toes and back down. Really nice and simple. We're just strengthening across our calves. A little bit of recovery as well for the breathing. I'm not really holding on strongly with my hands, just my fingers, purely just as a little bit of support for my balance. If I feel comfortable, then I can take my hands off. But I'm just using it to support myself. Make sure I can really get up onto my toes, strengthening through those calves. We're going to do 10 of those. And then come back into a march. Our next exercise is the half star. So make sure you've got a little bit of space beside you. I'm just going to move my chair out of my way. And we're going to start with some taps to the side. As with all these things, the further you tap, the harder it will be. This is option 1, legs only. Option 2, bring in a single arm. Option 3, double arms. Take it at what pace you're comfortable with. Okay, you're doing really well. This one might start to burn a little bit over those shoulders. If you're finding the arms are getting too tired, just drop it back down to a single arm. Or drop the arms just to half a raise. But we're trying to keep them, if possible, up at shoulder height. Doing fantastically well, everyone. We're doing really well. We're 8 exercises into our 10 exercise circuit. Remember to take a little breather whenever you need it. If you want to just slow it down to a march, you can do. Nice deep breath, let it back out. Then when you're ready, start back up. Single arms, a little bit easier than the doubles. Well done, everyone. About 30 seconds left on this one. Keeping it going, keep working. Remembering, trying to keep it at that RPE 13. We're feeling warm, we're feeling a bit breathless. We're not gasping for breath though. If it's getting too much, then just slow it back down. Feeling that burn probably a little bit around the arms now. If they're too much, then just reduce it down. We're doing really well. Okay, well done everyone. Back down to a march. If you need to, grab yourself a little drink. A little bit more refreshment. Keep the feet moving. And if you need to, just carry on. A couple of back taps. A little bit of a breather. Catch that breath, ready to go for number 9. Number 9 is a side lunge. So we've done some forward lunges. We're going to go for a side lunge now. So make sure you've got some space beside you, So clear a little bit of space if you need to. And we're going for the side lunge. So side lunge, we're going to step to the side and then back to the middle. I need a bit more space there actually. So step to the side, back to the middle. Opposite side and the middle. Okay? The lower you go, the harder this exercise is going to be. I'm using my hands just in front, just as a bit of counterbalance. But you can pop them where you feel comfortable. Okay. A little bit on the legs here, so if it gets too tough, back into that little bit of a march. Just going to show you if you're finding it difficult with balance. Hop a chair in front of you, hopefully you can still see. Hand on the chair, and I can still lunge to the side, but I've got that support of the chair there. I might then do 3 on that side, back to the middle, and 3 on the other. Let's get rid of the chair for those that don't need it. Carry on just with the side lunge. Out to the side, back up to the middle. Okay. Really good, everyone. About 10 seconds left on this one. We're doing fantastically well. Feel the burn a little bit in the legs, doing really well. Okay. A little bit of a march. Another active recovery. Grab those weights for me again. This is an upright row. We're working our deltoids, working our shoulders. Start in front with the weights. We're going to bring them straight up. Our elbows are coming out and then back down. No up with the wrists, it's up with the elbows, coming out to the side. Nice and slow, and release it back down. Taking up to shoulder height with the elbows, no higher. We're aiming for 10, so we've got to 5. 5 more. My feet are still going. Haven't stopped that marching yet. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done, everyone. Final exercise, we are nearly there. Okay, 2 options, back into the marching. Getting the legs in, a little bit higher with those knees again. If you're feeling that you can, let's go up to a gentle jog. Okay? Jogging level number 1. Nice low knees, just using the arms a little bit. If we're still feeling really comfortable, we can go higher. Get the knees a little bit higher, a little bit quicker. So we have 3 options. Option 1 is that march. Nice high knees if you can, using the arms. Option 2, just a gentle jog on the spot. Low knees, but using the arms. Option 3 again is the high knees. You can change between options. Do a little bit of one. If it gets too much, drop it back down. You pace it how you feel you can. Okay, I'm going to go back to the high knees. I'm finding I'm getting a little bit breathless, a little bit warmer, so I'm going to drop back down to a lower knee. Just pace how you feel. Okay? Always the option of the high knee march. A little bit slower, but a little bit higher with the knees. Whatever you feel comfortable with. We're nearly there. Got about 15 seconds left, everyone. We're doing really well. Okay. We'll finish with a high knee if we can. Last 10 seconds. Okay, well done everybody. Keep those feet moving. Grab yourself refreshment and we'll go on to the cool down. Remember just to keep the feet moving. Okay, so we're going to go straight into our cool down. Once you've had your refreshment, get yourself your water. And we're just reducing the intensity back down. So we'll start again with our heel taps in front, double biceps. So we're essentially reducing the intensity. So we're starting at the end of the warm-up and going back down to the start. So as we go through, let's just slow the pace a little bit now. We're changing from the heels to the toes, both arms coming in, but I've slowed the pace a little bit more. So we're trying to bring the heart rate back down from where we've raised it. We're bringing the blood pressure back down, allowing those adaptations and changes that we've done to reverse, bringing the blood flow back to the parts of the body that needs it, less now coming to our heart and coming to our muscles. So we're not just stopping, putting our feet down and resting. Out to the side, and I've dropped an arm, just a single arm now. Make sure you do complete your cool down at the end of your exercises. Don't just sit down, put those feet up and have a cup of tea. Really important that we reduce everything back down, nice and slowly, nice and steadily. Arms now just coming to a half raise. We're reducing them even further. Still kept a little bit of pace in my sort of steps at the moment, but we'll gradually make those slower. Keep that breathing nice and steady as well. Had a good workout there. We've got our breathing up, we've got ourselves warm. So nice deep breaths in and out as we go through the cool down. And tapping behind, again a little bit closer to the body this time, and half an arm raised in front. So we're just coming up to a 45-degree angle, not fully up in front of us. Fantastic. Hopefully now starting to feel that we're getting a little bit cooler. That we're just starting to relax off. So if we think about that ball scale, that RPE, we should be coming back down now under a light area, reducing the intensity back down. So we're going towards a lower number rather than going to a higher number now. And back into a steady march. We've used those muscles, we've used quite a lot with our shoulders today, so we're going to ease those off as well. Nice big shoulder rolls, starting going backwards. We're going to do a few more than what we did at the start. And And we're going to keep those feet marching throughout, nice and steady. Rolling forwards, change the direction. Again, just keeping that breathing nice and easy. Nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Keeping our feet moving. Again, we're going to stretch across the upper back, so hands together, one in front of each other, just pushing forwards from the side, just pushing away with the hands, heels down, heels keeping on marching, and our chin comes down to the chest, just looking down at our toes. Push those arms away as far as you can, rounding the shoulders, and relax down. Okay. Now for the shoulder stretch, take our right arm across the body, the left tucks underneath, pulling across the body. Increase the stretch. We're going to look over our right shoulder. We're holding a little bit longer than in the warm-up. Really making sure we're easing those muscles back off, increasing our flexibility a little bit. So holding it about 15 seconds this time, and still my feet are marching. Relax down. Okay. The left arm coming across. Put underneath with the right arm and look back over your left shoulder. Nice and steady with those feet still. Holding it again, about 15 seconds. Fantastic. Starting to feel those muscles ease off a little bit. And relax back down with the arms. Back into some toe taps. I've taken the arms out now. We're just moving the toes. And I've kept the movement quite close to the body. I've slowed the pace back down a little bit. So our calves and our muscles are still contracting in the lower body, helping that blood to come back up to our head, back up to our heart, stopping us from feeling lightheaded and dizzy after our exercise session. From our toe taps, we'll change to some heel taps in front. So still coming forwards. Again, nice and steady pace now. I'm starting to feel myself pull back down now. My breathing's starting to come back down towards a more normal, nice and comfortable level. Just starting to feel like I'm getting back down towards more of my resting level. Not quite there just yet, but definitely feeling that I'm getting a little bit more relaxed. We're going to do a little bit of stretching for the lower body as well. So we'll start with that calf stretch, the same as we did in the warm-up. We'll take a nice big step forwards with our right leg. So right leg comes forward, we're pushing the weight forwards this time. Hands on the middle thigh, the back leg stays nice and straight. I'll show you from the side. So nice big step forwards onto that right leg, hands on the middle thigh, and you can see that my leg from the hip right down to the heel is a nice straight line, and I'm keeping that heel pressed down and into the floor. If I'm feeling off balance, I can put my hands in front of me on a chair or on the wall beside. Again, we're holding for about 15 seconds there. And then we're coming back upwards, gentle march, as we then come over to the opposite leg. So we're going to go for the left leg, nice big step forwards, pushing the weight forwards. On the sides, I'll show you that one. The left leg coming forwards, pushing the weight forwards. Get that nice straight line from my hip down to my heel. Nice deep breaths in and back out. Keeping that breathing nice and steady as we're pulling back off. And then we're going to come back up, okay? And a gentle march. Last few moments, keeping that feet moving, bringing that heart rate down a little bit more. Into the side. You can see how close I'm now keeping my feet to my body. My movements are quite minimal at this point. If you're out on a walk, you might just decide when you finish your walk, you're just going to slow the pace down. Come to a really slow, steady walk as you finish. If you're doing an exercise session, whatever you do, make sure you slow it down, cool yourself off at the end. stretch is for our hamstrings. So we're going to come into that nice sort of relaxed stance about hip width apart with our feet. We're going to step forwards just slightly to the right leg stays straight, and we're going to sit back onto the left leg this time. I'll show you from the side, nice relaxed feet, step to the right leg onto the right heel, that leg is straight, and we're sitting back onto the left leg. So my weight is all on my left hand side. The further I sit back, the more stretch I'm going to get. Again, I'm trying to hold it a little bit longer in the cool down before I come back up. Marching the feet again, just nice and steadily, and then change to the other side. So nice hip width apart, step to the left leg this time, left leg stays straight, sit back onto my right. One more time from the side, small step forwards onto the left heel, nice straight leg, sit back onto my right. And I'm feeling the stretch here down the back of my hamstring, the back of my straight leg here. My breathing is still nice and steady now, nice deep breaths in and out. And coming back up. Okay. A little bit on my balance, just a few heel to toes. If you feel comfortable, bringing the foot off the floor and back down. If I prefer, I just have a little hand on the chair. Otherwise, just a few bits for my balance. Change to the other side. Okay, adjust yourself if you need to. From the side, all I'm doing is going up onto the heel and back down onto the toe. From this position, I'll go into my final stretch for my quads, for the front of the top leg. Again, I'm going to find something I can hold on to. I'm going to have a nice relaxed stance, and my legs heels up towards the bottom, grab the back of the shoe, or the front where my laces are. I've still got a little bit of bend in my standing leg, it's not completely locked out, and I'm just holding a nice comfortable stretch. And bring that back down slowly. Turn ourselves around, our final stretch everyone, up onto the other leg. Again, if you can't quite get on the laces, just hold the back of the trouser where you're comfortable. Last few seconds. Lovely and relaxed down. Give yourselves a nice big round of applause. Well done everybody, you've completed your workout for today, and we hope to see you well for next time. Thank you, bye bye.